Hello everyone, welcome to the Redmen TV. It is team news time ahead of Southampton versus Liverpool, the penultimate game of the Premier League season for the Reds. 4 points behind Manchester City as it stands, one game in hand. Win tonight puts us 1 point behind Manchester City. I'm joined for tonight's shows by Mr. Ste. Ste, are you excited for this one?
No,
nervous?
It feels like... Yeah, it's just getting a job done, isn't it? Like, it is what it is. You've got to go and beat Southampton, or the only way the narrative changes if it's a loss kind of thing. It's like Liverpool have got to go and win. That's it. So excitement's more apprehension given what we've just been through, and we've seen rumoured teams, and we think it's going to be a much changed Liverpool side with guys who haven't kicked the ball for a long time. It's going to be a hard graft, and I think Jurgen referenced this in his press conference. It's like, this is just one where dig in and find a way. So many lads just are unavailable. Salah and Virgil didn't even travel down the game. You've got talk of everyone else getting rested as well. So for me, it's more a case of just like, it's a bit like going to the dentist to get your teeth out. Like you've got to get it done. It is what it is. Go and get it done, and it's fine. And
close your eyes, and it'll all hopefully be okay by the end of it. I love that. It is a mad one, isn't it? Because you'd almost imagine Jurgen going into the sports scientists and stuff and being like, team will be out in 2 minutes, by the way. Going like, who've I got to pick from? And he goes, do you want the good news or the bad news? And there is no good news type of thing. There's going to be a few lads, though, that will be asked to play again after doing probably 120 minutes. I expect to see at least one or two of those lads. Yeah. But for you, where are you? If you were to pick the side right now, who are you going for?
Yes, this is so tough because, like you say, your first point is the point. They'll know who's fit. Like that's the case. Like my guess is, like I say, Milner, certainty to play. But Ibu, you think, should be fit enough to start as well.
Matip, I suppose, has got to play as well with no.
Yeah, Matip, because he comes on. Like, but you referenced lads who played at 120. I don't, other than the goalie.
Kanate.
And maybe Ibu, that's about it, really. Jota effect, he played a lot of that game as well, didn't he? Because he comes on after half an hour. So he's, in theory...
He's done a 90.
He's done a 90, so he should be okay. But, yeah, and Milner comes on later on as well at this point. But, yeah, you're right, mate. It's that... It's Jurgen's going to pick the fittest lads because Southampton will run. That's one thing we know. This isn't a team who are going to go back to the wall and just try and dog it. Burnley away, where they're just going to try and slow the game down, kick out of play, make it... a half an hour, 40-minute football game where they're going to bombard you. Like Southampton, their style is to run and run and run. The issue is they lack the quality, but they certainly don't lack the legs. So Jurgen's got to go for lads who he knows he can get 90 minutes of. You can't start someone in this game and know that I've got to take him off after 50, 60 minutes. I just don't think you can do that.
No, and then the front three then. If you're picking, who's your front three?
See, Bobby's in and Jota's in. I said Taki on the right when we done the build-up show. I'd stick with that, to be honest. Paul went for Oxlade-Chamberlain, I think, which I think is a mad shout. Fair play to him for having the stones to say that one. I went for Taki just because he's more likely to score a goal. He's got form of scoring goals. I wanted Divock in there somewhere, but I'm not sure I could get Divock and Bobby into the same team. Like, Divock going out to the left just didn't really do it for me. But that was me.
We've seen Bobby play on the left, but I'm like you. It's like, I'd much rather him play through the centre. Listen, the team is out, though, Steve. Can you make your way to the board? And I will shout out exactly who the team is for you, and we'll see how many Mr. Machin got right on yesterday's Start 11 prediction show. I think he's probably got quite a few right looking at this, mate. So we've got Alisson in goal. We've got Gomez, Matip, Kanate and Chimikas.
You got the back five right, yeah?
Milner, Jones, Elliott. No Naby Keita in the middle.
He didn't have Elliott even on his bench.
I'm not surprised. Yeah. Minamino, Jota and Firmino. So Ox for Minamino.
He didn't have Minamino on his bench either, so he's done okay. No, yeah, to be fair to him, he only had 2 wrong.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Subs then, Kelleher, Thiago, Keita.
Oh God, I'm in trouble here, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Elliott is in the team. So there's Kelleher, there's Thiago, there's Naby. Yeah.
Hendo, Ox.
Ox. Yeah, we're good.
Diaz, Robbo,
and yeah.
Origi and any guesses?
It's got to be a defender. Reece Williams.
Yes, well done.
Reece James, I wish.
Well done.
So no Sadio or Trent even on the bench.
No, do you want to go through the team with everyone then?
Yeah, wow, it's a League Cup side, isn't it really? Right, okay then.
Can you please put the goalkeeper not right behind the left centre half as well? Like, we've got to show Paul starting 11.
I do apologise, Paul Machin.
Why would you ever put the goalkeeper directly behind the net? This is why he was no good in goal. His positioning was terrible.
Yeah, listen, Machin must have been drunk when I walked in before. I thought the board had tipped. It was just Paul's card placement right then. Ali in goal, a back four of Tsimikas, Matip, Konate and Gomez, and midfield three, James Milner in the 6, with a very youthful 2 lads in front of him. The average age of these lads is still about a normal age. It's just dragged up by a million down by these two. So you've got Milner, Jones and Elliott as a 3. Jota, Firmino and Ste Minamino returning to Southampton. You look at the bench, Liverpool's options off that bench. We've got, obviously, Kelleher as the goalie, Thiago, Keita, Henderson, Robertson, Chamberlain. We've got Origi, Diaz and Williams. No, mate, it needed sorting. I think he's too tall for the board.
No, he's full of shit.
Yeah, so that is a very, 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 not so much makeshift, but there's a lot of lads there who haven't had minutes. There's a lot of lads with stuff to prove. And this over here is very interesting. The Elliott, Ste Minamino combination, Gomez. Like, have that 3 ever played together at any point in their lives? You're probably talking not much. The last time Elliott or Minamino kicked the ball, Elliott comes off and Minamino comes on in that Nottingham Forest game. So very, very rarely, if ever, has that team done anything remotely similar. So yeah, he's gone for the legs. He's gone for, no Mane, no Trent, no Salah, no Van Dijk, no Fabinho. Who else have I mentioned there? Yeah, that's... Wow, yeah.
So, talk me through that midfield, because I'm looking at it now, I'm looking at Jones, I'm looking at Harvey Elliott, I'm looking at James Milner, and I'm thinking, at least James Milner's there, the experience of James Milner behind the two of them. How do you think they're going to play?
Yeah.
Because the last time we saw Jones, he played it very high. His average position was almost where we've got Jota now. Now, is he going to be more the Thiago role? And Elliott play that more advanced midfield? How do you see it set up?
Yeah, I think in a way, I wouldn't be surprised if it turns into that a little bit at times, because I don't think as fit as James Milner is, and he is, he's, maybe offer him a little bit more protection than you would a Bobby, or sorry, a Fabinho or a Henderson. I would guess, given looking at their side, Liverpool are going to want to attack down the left.
Yes.
So that's where I'm guessing it might be Jones who's has to go more. To be fair to Harvey Elliott, when he'd done this role early in the season, obviously before the horrendous injury, and he was a bit, he loved going over here. He liked getting really out wide, didn't he? And it was almost Trent was undercutting him. Now, I don't see Joe Gomez drifting into centre midfield. I mean, we might have problems if he does. So that's very, very interesting. The flip side is, mate, and I know what you could even do that. Like,
might have more balance that way.
Yeah, maybe. There's a lot to unpack, but yeah, I mean, listen, we're playing a team down the bottom of the Premier League. It's away from home. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I don't see that team blowing someone away 4-5-0. I'm glad we're not really in the goal difference chase, because essentially, like, the goal difference is so big now that it doesn't really matter. We still need Villa to do us a favour. If City had lost the other day and we were thinking, right, who's going to go and beat Southampton 9-0 like other teams do? I mean, I don't think we're looking at that type of team.
No, you're looking at it, aren't you? And you're looking at the defence, I suppose. Feel free to come back, mate. I'm looking at the defence now and I'm going...
Sound.
Yeah, keep a clean sheet and let's just try and nick something probably here.
Yes.
I mean, because I'm looking at it now and, Si, would you mind just putting the camera back on the board for us, mate? You look at that bench there, you got Kelleher, obviously, Keita, Robbo, Origi, Diaz, Ox, Hendo, Thiago, and Reece Williams. So there's obviously no Mane on the bench you mentioned, no Salah, etc. No Trent. You've still got good options there. We've got Luis Diaz.
Tyler Morton just sticking his little head out there on the within shot.
Oh well. You got Luis Diaz and you got Divock Origi.
Yeah, there's goals.
There's goals off the bench.
Yeah.
I do feel a little bit harsh on Divock not being able to get in the side, but I think it's probably what you said before.
I don't think he's ever going to get
fit it in.
And I don't know if he trusts that Bobby can go 90 immediately, so it might be at some point we see that change. That's like a premeditated change. Is Firmino ready to go and do 90 minutes straight away? I don't know, so maybe that's what it is. I don't see how he gets in. I suggested to Paul, you could play 4-2-3-1, where Roberto Firmino is your number 10. And that would have negated having to play a really depleted midfield, but Jurgen seen it the way. I was thinking you could maybe see if you get Hendo to go again and just get Milner to do all his running for him.
Yeah.
And then have the 4, because I think when you play a 4-2-3-1, that's when you can get those two into the same team. But yeah, it's
what does this mean for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain?
Yeah, well, I think this shows where Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain stands in Jurgen Klopp's thoughts. I mean, it looks like that's his Liverpool career at the end of the season. If he kicks a ball again between now and the summer, I don't know. That's the thing. But again, I kind of understand it. I actually thought Chamberlain played well at right wing in January when Salah and Mane were both at the AFCON. Obviously, Diaz was not in yet, I don't think, or was just starting to buzz around a little bit. I actually thought he'd done all right. But then, since that Forest game, he's another one who's been completely bombed out. Taki, maybe it is the goal scoring exploits in the 2 domestic cups that have just not nudged him higher, because you referenced before, we need someone to get a goal. Yeah. Who's more likely to get one?
I'm looking at the front 3 and going, maybe it's Minamino, because Jota hasn't been in fantastic form over the last few weeks and stuff. Or ordinarily, if those 3 were on the field together and they were all playing in good form, you're going, Jota's the one that we're trusting to bag as a goal here. Right now, I'm looking at am I thinking Jota's going to score as a goal? What can Harvey do? He's not played for a long time. Firmino looked nice and bright and sharp, slotted his penalty really well at the weekend and stuff. So maybe that's the option for us. It's a wild team, and you know what? I'm much more excited for seeing that team than I am for seeing lads who've done 120 minutes and are being asked to go again, because I think there's just more legs in it.
Do you remember, it was a while ago under Jurgen, and we went away, I think it might have been to Sunderland, and it was that time when he had to play 2 games in 3 days and Jurgen's head had gone. And he played the same team twice, and they were just absolutely shattered. Like, I think sometimes you get more... the balance is, I'm better having a 50% Jordan Henderson or 100%.
Well, Jordan's got to go again the weekend, and he's got to go again in the Champions League final, so you know where you are with him.
Exactly.
And there's no one to back up to him.
It's just in general, like, are you better playing Diaz again and having him at 60% or just going 100% with Taki Minamino? That's what he's decided. And he's decided that the legs is better. And I do think, again, I go reference back to it, I think that's a lot to do with the opposition. I think if you were at home against Watford, or someone at Everton who's going to park a bus or something, you know what I mean? Then maybe, but I don't think you can afford to have lads who can't run playing against Southampton, because that's the one thing they do well. They're actually not a great team. They're in poor form and stuff, but they're great at set pieces, because Ward-Prowse is one of the best set piece takers I've ever seen. It's unbelievable, and they work their nuts off as well. So I think Jurgen's just decided, right, whatever team I put out is going to have at least enough quality to beat Southampton, because whichever 24 lads, which 11 of the 24, 25 you picked would always have more quality than Southampton in pretty much every area. He's matched them for legs. Like, we're looking at that side, and it's a much changed Liverpool side, but every single one of them gets in Southampton's team. Yeah,
and talking of Southampton's team, it's on my laptop in front of me now. Be with you momentarily. We've got Alex McCarthy in goal. We've got Kyle Walker-Peters, Lianco, Stevens, Salisu, Diallo, James Ward-Prowse captains them, Redmond, Mohamedi, Nathan Teller and Armando Broja as their side. So surprising even for Southampton's team, really, there. To be honest with you,
that's a back 3, isn't it?
It looks like it, doesn't
That's not like them. They got beat Brentford the other week by playing a 4-4-2. That's like a 3-5-2, I think. So that's Stevens, Lianco and Salisu, I think, at the back. Maybe Walker-Peters and Teller as wing-backs. Diallo, Prowse midfield. And then, like, maybe it's Redmond and Elliott behind Brock. Yeah, that's interesting that they've, again, no Shea Adams, which is a surprise. He's on the bench. Armstrong and Long on the bench. Both Armstrongs on the bench. I'm not sure how often I've seen Southampton play a back 3. If that's what it looked like.
Interesting.
I can't see how else they're going to do. I don't see how else those fit in, unless it's, I don't know, is someone else, it's one of those, is Stevens or Salisu playing full back? We'll find out later on, but yeah, that's interesting. That's an interesting team.
So we were talking off camera before about the centre halves. Are you going to have your little bet?
I am, yes. So I'm going to put a little bit of, I'm going to have a bet on Konate first goal. Only Leicester have conceded fewer headers in the season than Southampton. Liverpool have scored 15, I think,
headed goals. Most in the league.
Yeah, and looking at that side, Big Ebu off a corner.
Do you want to hear another little stat?
I would love to hear
Liverpool have won 7 of their 8 midweek games in the Premier League this season. I think the Leicester one was a Tuesday night or something when we lost, so that's one of the 2 losses that we've had. We've also won 8 of our last 9 league games against Southampton. The last loss being at Southampton last year when we lost 1-0, wasn't it? So, but before that, it was 8 on the bounce, which is pretty good. You know, it's a side that we do tend to do pretty well against. It's an exciting side. I mean, Harvey Elliott, Kurt Jones in the middle of the park with the experience of James Milner behind. What can they show? And here's the point, you know, we've spoken about them having, you know, gas in the tank and all that type of stuff. But Harvey Elliott, he'll want to put a marker down. Taki will want to put a marker down that he can stay in this squad. I'm sure Firmino wants to say, I can play in the Champions League final. So there's lads here who've got something to play for. We know how confident Costas is going to be coming into this game. And Joe Gomez has done himself no harm over the last few weeks and stuff when he's been asked to play right back. So these lads, I think that's a good side who've got something to prove. And we've only got 2 lads, as we mentioned, who've played the 120.
Yeah, again, if you're looking ahead to what's coming in the next few weeks and you're looking around and there's a couple of lads who you know are fatigued, there's a couple who are carrying little minor injuries, and you're thinking, you know, if it's a Champions League final and he's got 5 subs and he's looking to bring his 5th sub on, let's make that me. Taki should be thinking that, Jones should be thinking that, Elliott should be thinking that. I mean, Bobby's probably above that. He's probably going to be higher up the pecking order than that. But yeah, Costas in the same breath. Like, there is definitely points. There's a place in a Champions League final, at least in Jurgen's subs bench, and you know, with the opportunity to get off that bench. So I agree. It's an exciting team. It's different. I'll give you that. I'm fascinated by Milner, Jones, Elliott. Like, the balance of that is really, really interesting. Like, I'm glad it's Milner with them. You know, we've seen Milner play this almost like grandfather role in the League Cup sometimes. I mean, like, it was like a bunch of 18-year-olds and then Milner was dogging at left back, or a captain. You know, he knows where he's been here before. Yeah, I'm quite happy with the back 5. I think that's the main thing. I don't think that was the main thing for me, is that.
Yeah, be solid. Try and get yourself a goal. I've got a chat from one of our club legends over in Discord. Steve Ryder says we're going to stuff him, and Pepper's going, oh fuck, Stevie's rubbing his hands and Coutinho is polishing his own boots. The stories are there to be written. There's a narrative headed into it. I think there's more narrative than most people will think. I mean, you'll have heard me say it on the Final Word show, but I think that Lucas Digne might have something to say in this as well, which would then give Rafa Benitez a little say in the title race, not as well as Ings, Lucas Coutinho and Steven Gerrard. Yeah, Coutinho gets pulled down, Digne whips it in, Ings gets on the end of it, Stevie G celebrates wildly, and I'm thinking, well done, Agent Rafa. You did that. You did all of that. It's
absolutely unplayable. First of all, it's up to this lot to get the points in the bag. And I've seen people in the chat saying, you know, is Klopp being realistic, looking, you know, thinking the league's done, looking at the side. I completely disagree. I think he's decided we have just been ran round Wembley. Southampton haven't played the game for 10 days. The last time Southampton played was literally the 7th of May. We are now on the 17th. In that time, Liverpool have played 120 minutes plus penalties at Wembley. Also on the 10th, played Villa away in a very, very tough game, and drew against Tottenham. Like, Southampton haven't had to do none of that. No. So essentially, like, you know, 3 games since they last kicked the ball, including an extra time and stuff. It's no surprise. Like, he's gone fresh legs. You had to, otherwise. I think you're more likely to get beat if you just ask knackered lads to go again. Basically, you've got to win both games. You've got to win all these games. That's the point, isn't it? You kill them now to get 3 points, and then they can't run against Wolves. Or you've screwed yourself.
And then they've had essentially a week and a half off. Now's the time to give them the break. Hardy Davis sent us a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. You never walk alone from the States, boys. This lineup will have something to prove. Centre backs and Milner will keep them calm. We got this. Just one little thing there. I can see John, my friend John Blackshaw. I love Jurgen and I feel fine. You'll never walk alone. On that, you know, Jurgen Klopp, loads of people talking about him being the manager of the season right now. For you, is he?
Yeah.
He's got to be.
Yeah, listen.
He was going to be anyway, wasn't he?
You can't get 3 finals and 90 points probably. Your manager of the season. Some really good managers. Obviously Pep's unbelievable. If they do win the title again, he deserves all the plaudits. Thomas Frank at Brentford, I think, has been an unreal job. Eddie Howe has been amazing since he took over at Newcastle as well. But you can't get your team to this, no one's ever been here before, like the brink of absolute immortality in football, and not give them it. Like say, City have already got to breach that 90-point mark. You'd like to think Liverpool, with 2 games to go, will be able to do the same. 1-2 cups in a European Cup final. It had to be him, and he deserves, again, he is just like unbelievable. He's up there with the greatest we've ever had, and he's the best I've seen by a mile at Liverpool, and with all respect to the ones I've seen before. And he must be getting into the echelons of all time. Like he deserves to be in that mix now. He's just unbelievable.
Yeah, he's won everything for us, hasn't he? What's great to see, though, is that fans of other football clubs are actually taking note of how good it is. And, a friend of ours, Adam McCullough, massive Manchester United fan, here's a clip from this week's BetVictor show where he is the person, as a Manchester United fan, telling everybody else that Jurgen Klopp deserves to be manager of the year.
So boring to give it to Klopp or Pep, isn't it? Like, let's... They're expected to do what they do. This is.
I don't think Klopp's expected to do this, bro.
Not.
I genuinely don't think you expect this from Klopp. Like, look at some of the players that. Like, I know we look at Andy Robertson now as a top world class left back, but a couple of years ago, nobody, like, Pep wouldn't have done this with him. Like, you look at Trent, Pep wouldn't have done that with Trent. Like, even the likes of, yes, they've bought Van Dijk and they've bought Alisson and they're great players, but when you look at some of the Origi coming off the bench, like, it's crazy. And I know they've got better depth now, and they've brought in the likes of what's his face? Can't remember his name, but Diaz, yeah. But you gotta look at it and say Klopp is working wonders with that team.
Yeah, so go over there, check last fan standing out. We'll put a link in the description. We'll drop one into the chat as well. Go over there in the break between this show and the watch along. It really is a good show, and it's great to just hear Manchester United fans and know that it pains them to say that Jurgen Klopp is the best manager in the league and was the best manager in the league this season. We've got a big game against Southampton. Paul's down there. There are a lot of Reds who are like, fair play if you've done Wembley, you've come back up and gone down there, because I am absolutely knackered. Yeah. I don't know how Paul managed to do it this time around, and there are lads that go home and away every single week. Massive kudos and respect to all of them, but they'll be there. They're the lifeblood of this football club, and they'll be singing this, and they'll be supporting this side and singing loud and proud, won't they?
Absolutely, fair play to them. Usually I get very, very jealous watching like people on buses going down motorways and stuff singing songs. I mean, I must admit, I was looking at it today thinking, I'm all right do without that. I literally had a nap today. So absolutely fair play to them. But yeah, whole fingers crossed. Paul and all those fans there have a good time. And like I say, listen, we've seen this season, although the big guns have carried us, and you're looking at your Salahs and your Van Dijks and Mane's, like, heroes have been made out of your squad players as well. Elliott Minamino and Costa Simicas and Kevin Kelleher. We've seen they've all had those big hero moments.
It's a squad. You've got to use every one of them.
And listen,
apart from Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, probably.
Apart from him, maybe it's Harvey Elliott's time to just pull the put out the fire and write his name into the Liverpool folklore. Again, Tacky's there again. It's up to these lads now. The big guns, for lack of a better word, have carried the team, and they've ran as many laps as they can, but now they've gone, right, lads, we just need you to do a little bit for us, we can just get us round a couple of laps and we'll take over in a minute.
We're absolutely going to take back over.
We just need to sit down for this one, a couple of laps where you just go and do us a favour and just hold serve for us. So yeah, it's going to be fascinating. It's going to be a tough game, and again, I referenced it on the build-up show. I'd be shocked if we got to 80 minutes and we're comfortable. Yeah. With whatever score it is. I would be shocked if we're sitting in 3-0 and we're all having party.
I would take it.
I would delight it, because again, for a lot of different reasons, blood pressure being one of them. I just don't see. I think it's going to be close. I think Liverpool are going to have to just really, mentality monsters again. Pull that out one more time for now, and then maybe twice more in the next couple of weeks as well. But yeah. Again.
A couple of nice comments to end it then. Perry Jurgen says, Ste and Chris, love you guys' content, keep it up.
Thank you, Perry.
Thank you very much. Mika Labano, Ste and Chris on Watch Along is the dream team.
Well, it's not, because we did it once, we didn't win. But we sat in different chairs.
Yeah.
I sat there, and I think that's what jinxed us. It was the Southampton. No, it was the Tottenham game. It was the 2-2, wasn't it, when Tyler Morton played centre mid. I think we did that one.
I don't remember, but I've got the lucky biscuit wrapper.
Exactly,
now,
and you're in that chair, so that and I'm in my chair. This is usually my chair, so we've got that one covered for you. But yeah,
we're sorted.
We'll be back.
We'll be back in less than 45 minutes. We'll be back in probably 25, 30 minutes, something like that. I've no idea what time the show's starting. I just turn up. Half past. We'll be back at 7:30. Go and check out Last Fan Standing. Me and Steve will as well. No, I'm kidding. I've already watched it. It came out this afternoon. It was a good show. Go and check it out. Thank you very much, Steve. We'll see you all in around about 24 minutes for a massive game against Southampton where Liverpool can go 1 point behind Manchester City in a bit.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out that video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want even more Liverpool goodness in your lives, head on over to redmenplus.com now and sign up to Redmen Plus. We've got interviews, features, documentaries, as well as our vast array of weekly shows. So yeah, redmenplus.com, sign up to Redmen Plus now.